Hey there and welcome. I'm getting straight into this forecast. Timestamps for each individual week will be in the description for you to come back to whenever you want. We're starting this month off with a new moon in Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, on the 1st of April. A lot of firsts already, but with the prior spring equinox, this will also be the first new moon this spring. The number 1, as well as a new moon in general, is all about planting seeds and setting intentions, making this a very potent time in terms of manifesting new beginnings and opportunities. We are encouraged now to get the ball rolling towards making our ideal life our reality, which isn't always a straightforward task. Organizing and planning for the future might help you now, even if it doesn't come to you naturally. Aries' enthusiastic and fiery energy is really setting the tone this first week of April 2022. Apart from the moon, the sun, Mercury and Chiron are all in Aries this week. Aries' energy is that of a highly motivated and independent pioneer embarking on a new journey. In Tarot, this energy is represented by the major arcana card, the Fool. We might feel more motivated and confident than usual, supporting us in verbalizing and materializing our goals, especially ones regarding our self-development. If you've been feeling directionless or frustrated, not knowing what you want or what you are working towards, this week could actually be an opportunity for you to figure that out. When we are blocked, the universe likes to bring us face to face with what is holding us back, really pushing us to explore our authentic self or darker truths in our dreams. Often these blockages are related to karmic cycles. Luckily, we are now supported in doing so by a strong desire to learn and grow through experiences and through others, enhancing our healing and problem-solving abilities. There will also be a conjunction between Mercury and Chiron, further stimulating us to open our minds and to learn from circumstances as well as from others. We tend to be more precise in our communication, as our wants are aligned with our thoughts this week. Our intuition is strong now as well, leaving no room for inauthenticity or people-pleasing. There is a tendency to be insensitive though, so be cautious to always think before you act. When it comes to socializing, with Venus moving into Pisces on the 5th, you might find you are more drawn to spiritual, imaginative and romantic people these days. We are encouraged in seeing people beyond the limitations put on them by themselves or society. With Venus being the ruler of beauty and love, this is also a great time for creative and artistic endeavors. Still motivated and enthusiastic, this is a week for productiveness and mental alertness. Productivity may be slow, but it's steady. Our increased mental activity could, on the other hand, also lead to compulsive thinking. Suspicious and anxious thoughts might be more prevalent now. We might also notice that shallow interactions aren't doing it for us this week. Engaging in serious conversations about your deepest and darkest desires could be more intriguing now, but be cautious to avoid forcing your mindset and ideas on others, and remember to stay open to other people's perspectives. You might actually end up expanding your own mindset that way. On the 11th of April, Mercury is leaving Aries' somewhat erratic energy and moving into the fixed earth sign of Taurus. When Mercury is in Taurus, we take a more grounded approach in matters of the mind. This placement is all about making decisions with forethought, taking into account the consequences of our actions, as well as each detail surrounding them. An altruistic and generous approach should be embraced when making choices and taking action now. With Jupiter and Neptune in a sextile aspect to the North Node, our dreams and our subconscious might be trying to communicate some hard truths to us regarding our self-development this week. Simultaneously, Lilith, also known as the Black Moon, is entering the sign of Cancer. She deals with our deepest desires and the things we are ashamed to admit to ourselves and to others. In Cancer, we are confronted with the shame we might feel when it comes to our dependency on other people. The question to ask right now is, how are you making your emotional stability and happiness dependent on others? Cancer is connected to the 4th house, the house relating to our family of origin and our karmic relationships. So these dependency issues might be connected to your childhood, specifically to your relationship with your caretakers. This is a time to ground your sense of security within yourself. Working on self-acceptance is the key to empowerment. Good fortune and positive results might arise from it. Straight away, you should know that there is a lot going on this week, so brace yourselves. Mars is moving into Pisces at the beginning of the third week, making us act more out of our emotions. Subjects dealing with the bigger picture of things, such as philosophy, religion, or general belief systems, could lead to more of an emotional response now. Be careful not to express yourself negatively when confronted with beliefs differing from your own. This week we might also experience an easier access to our sexual energy, making us more driven by our gut feelings and intuition. On the 16th, we have a full moon in Libra. Full moons have a way of revealing what is out of balance, and this is specifically true when we are dealing with a full moon in Libra. Libra is the ruler of Venus, meaning this full moon will have its focus on the relationships in our lives, may it be platonic, romantic, or professional ones. A full moon carries a lot of emotional energy, and with Mars now in the watery sign of Pisces, our emotions might be extra explosive this week. With so much going on in our emotional realm, there is a tendency for our senses to become overloaded, to the point of impatience, impulsiveness, and pushiness. There is a need to focus on grounding yourself more than usual this week because of this. When it comes to our social interactions, they could go either way. It really depends on how well we can rein in our emotions among the challenging energies of this week. Remember to stay respectful and to always treat others from a place of equality. Doing so will benefit your personal relationships immensely. On the 20th, the Sun is continuing its journey on from Aries and entering the sign of Taurus. As mentioned in the second week, Taurus is the fixed earth sign. When the Sun transits through an earth sign, our passion towards achieving our goals is ignited, but due to Taurus's fixed nature, rigidness, stubbornness, and stagnancy could equally arise now. Taurus rules over the second house, which deals with our sense of security. We are therefore called to examine what makes us feel safe. We might find that we are holding on to old structures that have become our comfort zone, but in actuality they are merely giving us a fake sense of security. We are pushed to go inwards and individually address our deepest wants and needs, instead of adhering to other people's understanding of what structure and security means. Following on to the energies of the third week and the exploration inward, our minds are now aligning with our soul's purpose. This might mean, though, that we have to restructure a few things in our lives, and that certain projects we thought were complete may actually need a revision. A sextile between Mercury and Neptune is helping us out, allowing for an easier access to our intuition. Because of this transit, there is also a tendency to spend more time daydreaming than usual and feel more creatively inspired. A great opportunity to express ourselves artistically. The people we surround ourselves with and the interactions we have this week seem to have a higher potential to be conducive to our personal growth. We tend to be more inclined to see the positive side of things and open to learn through our social interactions. A conjunction between Venus and Neptune in dreamy Pisces could indicate a new and fresh beginning on a creative level. Another transit that is now encouraging us to spend more time with our imagination and therefore heightening our sensitivity to all things beautiful and spiritual. This week could be a good opportunity for a romantic getaway if this is in the cards for you. In general, this is a great week for social interactions, as we are more understanding and focused when it comes to our thinking and our communication. With Mercury moving into talkative Gemini on the 29th, discussing our ideas and philosophies with others is encouraged now. In this placement, our mind seems to constantly be racing with different and sometimes opposing thoughts. You could also notice that we get bored more quickly, always on the lookout for new and better. We might find it easier to start a lot of different projects or conversations, but the downside to this is that when it comes to actually finishing them, we don't as easily. Pluto, the planet of transformation and rebirth, is going into retrograde motion by the end of the month. It will be doing so for about 6 months. When a planet is in retrograde, said planet's energy is reverting inwards, nudging us to do so ourselves. We are called to examine, review, and reflect on the planet's energy within ourselves. Pluto has been transiting through Capricorn. We are being tasked to look at our shadows and issues surrounding power, control, and surrendering. This could lead to transformational experiences in terms of our professional life and our social status. Remember, rebirth can only happen if something dies first. So it is important to really surrender and accept loss as a necessary part to life, and therefore also within our own lives. This month we actually have not one, but 2 new moons. Another new moon in Taurus on the 30th is calling us to plan tangible and practical intentions towards our future. A great time to make concrete plans that we know we can make happen. April has been a whirlwind, full of emotions and transformational energies. Finishing the month off big, we have a very magical transit occurring. That being a conjunction in Pisces between Venus and Jupiter, there is a sense of optimism, generosity, and just general kindness in the air. This is a time to treat yourself and your loved ones to the pleasures of life, and maybe just relax after such an eventful month. I sure hope you do so. We have reached the end of this April 22 forecast. Thank you so much for making it up to this point. There is definitely a lot going on astrologically, and I wish you all the best when it comes to seeing it through. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.